Hello beautiful souls, I'm here again with another video, and this was prompted by one day last week somebody asked me if I'd do a card reading for them, and of course I said yes. And they said, do you work with tarot cards? And I said, well, no, I actually work with angel cards. I explained that I was an angel guide, a trained angel guide, that I'd trained with Kyle Gray, who, for my money, is one of the UK's leading angel experts, still only in his 30s. That man's got a lot more work to come. I just know he has. I use his cards, I read his books, and I refer to his writings and his videos quite a lot. You might want to look him up here on YouTube. He puts a lot of content up to look at. So basically, I explained to this lady about the different types of cards, and I thought it might make a good topic for a video because some of you might be feeling a bit confused about if you're drawn towards using cards in your own spiritual practices. You might be feeling a bit confused as to what's what. There are so many of them out there after all. Before we go any further, I just want to say that anybody can learn how to read cards. It's not something that's just for the select few or those who were basically born with a crystal ball in their hands, sort of thing. Card reading, yeah, it's something it's a skill that needs to be learned like any other. But as with any other spiritual psychic matters, intuition plays a big part, and so does, as well as intuition, it's your own energy, because cards are just divination tools that help us to connect with our own energy and spirit energy to get readings for. And another thing I want to make clear is we don't do fortune telling. If ever anybody tries to say, oh, you're going to tell me fortune, I quickly say no, because basically for me, what card reading is all about is about the here and now. Because you've heard me say this before, you've seen me write it in my various articles and in the book. I do have a lot to say on the fact that the only time that really matters is right here, right now, this minute, because anything that's already happened we can't change. Anything that's coming we don't know about. I talk to dead people and I don't know what's coming. I mean, if I did, I'd have the lottery numbers for us all, wouldn't I, for next week? But all that aside, there can be a bit of a mystique around reading cards. People saying it's only for the chosen few, or you need to study for years to be able to do it properly. No, you don't. Anybody can read cards. Anybody, if you can learn to read cards, and as long as you trust your intuition, that will always guide you. You can, don't be put off by thinking it's something I can't do, because you can. So to start off with, I'm going to keep it simple. There's three main sort of types of cards, and every deck that you see will fall under one or possibly more than one of these headings. So there is quite an extensive chapter in the Soul Cave. Chapter 9 is all about working with cards, introduction to working with cards, and I do discuss all the different decks and also give examples of readings and how these readings might play out with different decks for different people, different circumstances. So the first one, and the one that everybody's heard about, is tarot. So this one here, it's called Angel Power Tarot Cards by Radleigh Valentine, another angel expert who I really respect. Now, Radleigh Valentine's got his own, if you like, subgenre of tarot. It's angel tarot. Regular tarot, although it dates back to the Middle Ages, a lot of what we are familiar with today has descended from the original Rider-Waite tarot of 1910. The structure of the deck, a lot of the imagery on it and the symbolism in it sort of has developed from that original deck. And what Radleigh Valentine has done with it is taken the structure of the tarot. The way that tarot differs from oracle cards and angel cards is that there's a set number of cards and there's a set structure. You've got 78 cards in total, 22, which we call the major arcana. Arcana means loosely translated mysteries. So the 22 that are in the major arcana, we look at them as sort of, if you like, archetypes, indicators of major life lessons, that sort of thing. Then there's 56 cards in the minor arcana, which is 4 suits, a bit like a deck of playing cards. In fact, original, what sort of developed into tarot cards and cards for sort of readings and that, is very much based on playing cards. So you got 4 suits of 14 cards each. You've got the 10 number cards, and you've got 4 what we call court cards. So in playing cards, you've got Jack, Queen, and King. In tarot, you've got the Page, the Knight, and the Queen and the King. And if you see, the court cards, usually the person depicted on them, whether it's male or female, that person is a representation of whoever's having the reading. So what Radleigh Valentine did when he took tarot cards and turned them into angel tarot, if you like, first of all, he sort of got rid of some of the more, let's say, challenging, if you like, and outdated imagery. And the best way I can explain that is to show you what I mean, basically. I mean, for example, in the major arcana, card number 5 is, in classic tarot, it's called the Hierophant. Does anybody even know what a Hierophant is? I'm damn sure I don't. It's basically a religious figure, influential religious figure. So in this deck, in these Angel Power Tarot cards, Radleigh Valentine's replaced the Hierophant, which is also, people believe it refers to the Pope. He's replaced that with what he calls this card, which he calls Divine Guidance. You can see that there, number 5, which should be the Hierophant, is Divine Guidance. It's got a lot of the same sort of imagery and symbolism. You've still got that one figure there, but in this case it's an angel. Another card that people find a little bit challenging in the regular tarot is the Hangman. In this one, that's card number 12 in the major arcana, which Radley has changed to perspective. If I just get that so you can see it, you'll see you've still got an upside down figure, but it's not actually a hanging man. And it is about perspective, seeing things from a different viewpoint. One of the messages on here is there's a better way. Dare to be different. Well, I mean, if hanging upside down by your legs is indifferent, I don't know what is. And another card is the Devil card. People don't tend to like the Devil card in the tarot. But in this one, it's called Decision. Because that particular card, what's the first thing you think about if you think about the devil, apart from hell, obviously? But we think about the Bible and Satan's temptation of Jesus. And this card is about temptation, things holding you back. I mean, the message on here says, release yourself from what holds you back. You need to detox, which is a sort of nod to temptation, if you like. Unnecessary worry based on lack of self-confidence. Again, just a sort of, if you like, procrastination, overthinking, that sort of thing, taking your focus away. And the other thing Radley Valentine does with tarot is he gives new names to them. So in the original tarot, where you've got the Suit of Cups, it's Archangel Raphael. Swords is Michael. Wands is Gabriel. And Pentacles is Archangel Ariel. And you've still got the same sort of symbolism that you got, like Gabriel, which is wands. It's the suit of element of fire. It's all about creativity. Ariel, Pentacles, all about, it's the practical suit, about earth. Michael, swords, is about element of air and about intellectual. You're thinking, but you're intellectual thinking, you're reasoning, if you like. While Raphael, which is the element of water, Suit of Cups, is all about more about the emotions. There's a Raphael card there just to show you. There's a Gabriel. They're not showing up that well, actually, so I don't think we'll go any more with that. But yeah, basically, so tarot and angel tarot is a defined structure, a specific number of cards, right? So then if we move on to oracle cards, this is where we see the difference, because oracle cards are, if you think about the old days, you know, go back to Greek and Roman times, the Oracle of Delphi, was where you went to consult the oracle for wisdom, knowledge, that sort of thing. And this is what oracle cards are as well. The main difference to tarot is that you can have as many or as few oracle cards as you want. You can have anything from 12 up to 100 or even more. I've actually seen, want to call it Baron Reed's oracle decks. I can't quite remember the name now. It escapes me for a moment, but there's actually more cards in there than there is in a tarot deck. A genuine, general sort of, if you like, ballpark figure, there's very often 44 cards in an oracle deck. The other difference between tarot and oracle is the subject matter of the cards, whereas you've got distinct sort of subjects on a lot of tarot cards. You've got your knights, your pages, kings, queens. You've got certain people like the empress, emperor, high priest, magician. Certain characters that appear on all tarot decks, whatever they happen to be called, it's still basically that character. So with oracle cards, they can be absolutely anything. The deck I've got here, if I can just find the lid to show you, is Dragon Oracle cards. That's by Diana Cooper, who's a bit of an expert on dragons, unicorns, that sort of thing. And as it says on the tin, what we've got is different representations of dragons. You can get oracle cards with just about anything on. Dragons, mermaids, unicorns, fairies. Oh, the list endless. Disney characters, zombies, though quite why anybody would want an oracle card deck with zombies, but who am I to, I don't judge. If you want an oracle deck with zombies, have one. But yeah, basically, oracle cards are easier to work with than tarot, especially for somebody who's new to card reading. It's also easier for the whoever's having the reading to follow what's in the cards, because there's no hard and fast symbolism. You will find that there are certain things that stretch across any type of cards. For example, colours. If ever I see a colour, say the colour red or the colour orange on a card, especially if there's a lot of it, that to me is about strength and courage and self-confidence. Blue in a card can mean it can be about communication and the throat chakra. It can be about, if it's a sort of pale blue and the image on the card is quite tranquil, then that can be about serenity, about peace coming in. But yeah, basically with oracle cards, they can be any particular, any topic, any subject. Again, like tarot, they are divination tools. And again, it's about working with your intuition, your energy, and also calling in spirit to help you interpret them. So then we move on to angel cards. Now, strictly speaking, angel cards are also oracle cards, with the difference that whereas oracle cards can be anything, angel cards are always, always, always angels. Again, does what it says on the tin, basically. So what you might have is you could have, I've got three of my favourite two of my favourite decks here. I've got, this is Kyle Gray, the angel expert I mentioned earlier, and that deck is called Angel Prayers. So you can have, this deck has got quite a few different angels in. You've got Angel Raphael, Archangel Raphael, the angel of healing, Archangel Shemuel, the angel of love, Ariel, the angel of abundance and nature. But there's also other cards, I'm just going to try and get to them, that they might not actually show a particular named angel, but the message will have a picture of an angel with it, or there'll be angel wings somewhere on the card. This one is express your creativity and As you can see, it's an angel there on that one. Or you can also have angel cards that are a specific, deal with one specific angel. Because I work a lot with Archangel Michael, I absolutely love Radleigh Valentine's Archangel Michael Sword of Light Oracle cards. And again, with these cards, predominantly blue, because blue's the colour of Michael. So there's a card with Michael on. That one says Archangel Michael is with you now, even though you can't see it. I'm working on this situation. And if you remember, I mentioned about red and orange being colours that should inspire sort of strength, confidence, courage. And you see Michael's there with that red cloak. And again, some cards have got Michael on, some of them are different. This one says you're ready for more. Your career is growing and blossoming. Now's the time to make the changes you've been contemplating. So that one's talking of abundance, and you can actually see abundance. You see that flower there. Look how, that big flower in full bloom. To me, that's always a sign of abundance. So why do I particularly go with angel cards? Well, for me, the big thing about angel cards is they are so uplifting. Every single card is uplifting. And I feel more than any other type of cards, angel cards give you confirmation, because it's really important to know that your thinking and your actions is going in the right way. And we do tend to doubt ourselves. Whereas, just the other day, about a week, 10 days ago, I did a reading for somebody, and there was so much. She said to me, because when I always say at the start of a reading, ask for what you want from the reading. She said, there's so much, I don't know where to start. And I said, well, in that case, just ask the angels what you need to know and let them decide what we get from that. So that was what happened. And at the end of the reading, she said to me, I'm absolutely amazed. She said, everything that's been going through my mind that I've been a bit concerned about, every single thing, I've had the confirmation in these cards. She said, almost before you put the cards down, before you've said anything, I've just felt, I see how that relates to me. And to me, that is a really big thing about angel cards, and it's why I use them. Whenever I do a reading, I only work with angel cards, either angel tarot or angel oracle cards. And that's why I just feel it's so much easier for other people to follow. And it really doesn't mess about. You get that confirmation. There's no sitting on the fence for me with angel cards. So that's me. That's why I love angel cards. But as I said, you might be different. You need to find what works for you. So maybe the next question you're going to ask is, how do I know which deck to choose from? Well, more than likely the deck will choose you. But what I want to say, I've rattled on for quite long enough now, so I'm going to wrap this up. But what I want to say is, don't be afraid of the cards. Don't feel constricted. And certainly don't believe that old rubbish about somebody should buy you your first set of cards. It doesn't matter who gets the cards for you, whether you buy them yourself, whether they're a gift from someone else. It doesn't matter where they come from. The main thing is that you get them and you work with them and you're confident about them. So in another video, I had out to cover some of it today, but as usual, I've rattled on for more than long enough. But in another video, I will talk to you about the best way to, when you get your cards, to cleanse the energy and sort of connect with them before you go on to working with them. So hope that's cleared up anything, any mystery about what the different types of cards are. Thank you for listening, and I hope to see you soon, and we'll talk more about the spiritual questions that you want your answers to. Bye bye.